Hi everyone, I'm here, Shyla's here. I know it's been a little while since I've updated you guys, but today's a good day. It's July 4th, so happy July 4th. I wrote down, I'm gonna have to do like 4 videos or 3 videos to catch up on everything. Just things have been so crazy and busy, and I haven't had any time to fit any videos in. So sorry about that, but right now this is gonna be my labor and delivery video, and I know it's not gonna fit in one video. So I'm going to do my best to try to remember everything and let you guys know exactly what happened. I have a big list here. So this is what happened from when I last updated you guys. I think it was 39 weeks. Um, After that, I was so frustrated and so impatient. My mom was in town. My dad was about to leave town. And I was miserable and big and pregnant and getting more and more stretch marks and bigger and heavier and more uncomfortable. So I figured I was far enough along to start considering natural induction methods, which I never even wanted to mess with because, but my patience level was obviously not there. So I tried castor oil. And castor oil, I took, I guess 2 ounces. No, like, yeah, 2 ounces, because I think I bought a 4 ounce bottle and I took 2.5 ounces, maybe 3. And I had to chug it with orange juice or something, and it was disgusting and thick and oily and it smelled like crayons and it was just gross, yuck. Anyways, it's supposed to happen within 12 hours. Like, you get the diarrhea, which will stimulate contractions, and then you'll have your baby. It didn't work for me at all. I took the castor oil, I think 39 weeks and a few days. Um, and basically, yeah, I did have bowel movements, nothing crazy, nothing even majorly painful. And I might have the next day had a few Braxton Hicks, which I was getting nonstop from 39 weeks. I had tons of false alarms, tons of false labor pains, and I kept getting excited and kept letting myself down. I actually went to the hospital too, which I'll tell you about in a second. So, anyways, I did the castor oil, didn't work. I was taking evening primrose oil in capsules, and gel capsules too. I wasn't religious about that, taking it all the time, but I tried that too. So none of these things worked for me. I was still pregnant. So I had my false labor. I actually thought I should go to the hospital because I was having contractions. They were actually just Braxton Hicks with a little bit of pain. So I didn't know. Your first time, you think anything might be the thing, you know. So I was having contractions every 5 minutes for a few hours. I started timing them myself. They were not painful at all, totally bearable. Um, so which is a good sign not to go to the hospital unless you are in pain. Because I went to the hospital with these contractions or Braxton Hicks, whatever, and they were every 5 minutes for a few hours, consistent. I was like, cool, I'm in labor. Went there, and within 1 hour, I was discharged and told I was probably just dehydrated. So I drank a lot of fluids, and the contractions did go away, so I wasn't in labor. So it's good to stay hydrated, or else you guys are just going to put yourself down. Um, so yeah, I had a false labor, went to the hospital, and was sent home, which sucks. It was really disappointing. I think I was 39 weeks and 4 days. So that sucked. But then, so 40 weeks came around. I hit 40 weeks, which I thought I would never hit. I always thought she was going to be an early baby, and everyone else did too. She was always a little bit ahead in her percentile on her ultrasounds, and I just had a feeling she was going to be early. But I hit 40 weeks, so I went to my doctor appointment. My appointment went fine. They checked me. I was still closed at 40 weeks, but soft as always, or what I had been. They did a non-stress test, and I sat on there for like half an hour or so. And then they scheduled me, because at 40 weeks they schedule you for an induction date. So they scheduled me for June 22nd to go to the hospital at 5 a.m., be put on Pitocin, and just go through the most horrible contraction pains and have my baby born through Pitocin and blah, 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 induction. And I was not having that. I really wanted to experience going into labor naturally and all that. So I was really bummed out and just praying and hoping that I would go into labor before that point, because my 40 weeks was on the 16th, so it was like a week away. So I was just, and the doctor told me it was a very good chance that I could go into labor before that point. So that day, me and my mom went home. We got on the internet and we researched pressure points to be put into labor. So that's this point right here in between your index and your thumb. You just massage that or put pressure in there and release. And there's also a couple points on your ankles, like 4-finger widths on the inside of your ankle up. You massage that area. So me and my mom were just farting around and we're doing that, and she did that on me, and I was doing my own hands. She did that on me for maybe an hour and a half or so, and it was in the afternoon because my appointment was in the morning. And then a friend of mine told me she went to this chiropractor who did, she used to be a nurse in the maternity area. Anyways, now she's a chiropractor, and supposedly she does acupressure for women and women who are trying to go into labor, and she said that she had her baby within 12 hours of getting an adjustment from her. So I thought, what the hell, I'm going to go try it out. So after me and my mom were doing pressure points, I'm like, okay, I want to go try this thing out. What's the worst that could happen? It was only like $45 to go. So I went there, and she did this adjustment on me. She kind of used this big massager vibrating tool, and she had me lay on my belly. Of course, there was a hole for my belly to lay in, so there was no pressure on my belly. But she kind of went on my butt area and my hip area, and she said it kind of loosens up the pelvic area and puts pressure there, and somehow puts you into labor if your baby's ready. She said she's done it about 25 times. 2 of the women didn't do anything for them. The rest all went into labor within 24 hours. So I was like, cool. So after I had that adjustment, which felt good too, that day I hung out at home, and my aunt and cousins came over, and we were hanging out outside by the pool at like 6 or 7, and I was having really strong contractions, but of course I was ignoring them because every time I'd even get excited that I was having contractions, they'd go away, or they weren't really anything. So, but they were getting really strong, and I was kind of trying not to psych myself out or jinx it by even putting any attention on it at all. So I kept ignoring them. But there's a difference, when they're real and they're not real. I don't know how to explain it, but it's like I would read, like, what do contractions feel like on the internet, and they would explain it's like a Braxton Hicks tightening of the uterus, really tight, tight, tight. And then you start to feel pressure in your lower, like a menstrual cramp, but that goes through to your back. And I was always picturing through to your back, meaning it would wrap around your waist and go to the back, but you actually feel the pain from the lower stomach through the inside of your body all the way to your back. That's what it meant, and that's exactly what I felt. It was like really strong period cramps. The tightening of the belly was the main thing, and I would feel it all the way through to my back, and it would get so bad, which it did get so bad by like 9:30, 10, where I had to grip onto something, like hold on to something really tight and hold my breath. For whatever reason, I just held my breath and had to close my eyes or not talk through them, and it was definitely painful. It was not like these Braxton Hicks false things. So anyways, my mom and me started timing them when I started like really feeling like, okay, this has to be it. Like, I'm in pain. And they were every 5 minutes from about 8:30 p.m. till we went to the hospital, and they stayed pretty much at 5 minutes, which I'll talk about later. But anyways, so they were getting really consistent and stronger and stronger and stronger, and there was like little mini contractions in between the big ones, so the timing was a little weird, which I was kind of like, but I just knew I was in labor. By 1 a.m. when I was in so much pain, I'm like, that's it, take me to the hospital. So we went to the hospital, me and my mom. We didn't wake anyone up because we didn't want another false alarm and waking everyone up for no reason. I went to the I'm going to have to cut this off. Okay, I'm going to cut this off and make a part 2. Okay.